Hey artists, welcome to another video. Today I'm exploring play a little bit here with my artwork. I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts and it brought me back to being a kid and experiencing the Harry Potter novels for the first time and just being part of that world. So I wanted to paint Hedwig today. I wanted to go with something a little different from my usual. So what I did here is I actually printed off a sheet of kind of like antique paper with this really cool script writing on it. And I adhered that to a piece of masonite board. I ended up using some, I don't know, thick acrylic medium of sorts. Probably not the right thing to use for it, but I figured it was worth the experiment. And yeah, attach that, cut it to size, and now I had some really cool paper to work with. I wanted to kind of give it a little bit of a destroyed vibe, like it's definitely seen some days, so I wet it with water a little bit, and then I just started scrubbing it. This gave some weird results. Don't know if I would do this again. For one thing, the paper, you could see here, it ripped off in big chunks, which I kind of did like that look. But the other thing is it gave the paper a really weird green vibe and also completely dyed my fingers for days. So lessons were learned, but it was a really fun process nevertheless. So I let everything dry completely and yeah, decided I was gonna jump in with my oils. I've recently been exploring the idea of having more play in my artwork, kind of take things a little less seriously, especially the pieces that I'm kind of doing for myself. And this definitely fell in that category. It allowed me to basically paint a character from one of my favorite franchises of all time. I grew up on Harry Potter and it's, still been a big part of my life. And now being able to play the new Hogwarts game has just been like the funnest thing in the world. So being able to, paint an animal character was a lot of fun. And I really want to start doing more of this. If you have any animal or even like fantasy animal characters that you think I should try painting, let me know in the comments. I'd be totally down for doing more of this. But yeah, so I started off by going in with my background first. I wanted to darken things a little bit, make it a little moody. I had some candles that I was going to be painting in, and in order to make that flame pop, the background needed to be pretty dark. So that's why I kind of went in with burnt umber first and some glazing medium to give it a little bit of a wash without it being super, super dark. At first I wanted to try to leave little peaks of that background peeping through the feathers. It didn't really end up turning out. To be honest, I kind of forgot that I was gonna do that, and I ended up covering all of it with, opaque oil paint, and that's okay. You can still see a lot of that beautiful like script antique writing in the background. But yeah, I really love doing this technique. It was a lot of fun. The method of which that I would apply it next time might change, but you don't learn until you try something new. Owls are definitely one of my favorite things to paint, and I think I really need to paint more of them. There's something about painting feathers, especially feathers that have a kind of range of textures here. So you've got, some more defined like primary and secondary wing feathers here. And then you also have a lot of really soft, fluffy, downy feathers. And just having a range of textures there just is a lot of fun. wanted to work on this piece in a bit more of like an alla prima fashion, so all in one layer. Normally I would let my paintings dry and then do a glaze layer, and maybe I'll do that once this fully dries, but I really like the way this final piece looked anyways. And playing with, the alla prima style is a really good way to play around with paint, I find. It's a very different technique because you have to be a lot more intentional about where you're laying down your different colors, especially if you're working with something like oils that take a long time to dry. So it definitely forces you to be a little more intentional when you're laying down your brush strokes, which is a really great thing to practice. I loved adding detail to these feathers. The paint underneath was wet, but it was just, I don't know, there was something really, really fun about it. And adding these little brush strokes on the edge of Hedwig here just make them look so much fluffier, especially when you've got that dark background. Adding the little fluffy bits on the edge just really makes them pop. I really had no idea what I was doing with this book here, so I just kept things really painterly and impressionistic, and overall, I like the way it looks. It was fun. I don't really think I've ever painted a book like that before. Alright, so now painting in some of the markings. Up until this point, my snowy owl here has been just pure white, and I wanted to add some of those markings. It was definitely a bit of a struggle because I was painting on such wet paint, but I found that just adding the blobs really thick before and then going in with a dry brush and just kind of lightly blending things out made this a lot easier. Ultimately, I had so much fun painting this. It was a little bit of a breath of fresh air, painting a subject from, one of my favorite childhood franchises. And I mean, it was an owl. I love painting owls. So it was so much fun. Hopefully you found this inspiring. And yeah, if you think of any other cool animal characters that you think I would have fun painting, let me know. I definitely want to start doing this more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Stay magical, my friends.